What's happening, guys? It is I, your old pal Griz, and welcome back for another installment of my Battlefield 4 weapon review series, Guns with Griz. This episode actually marks a first ever for me and for the series, as this will be the first ever sniper rifle review. That's right, you've probably figured it out by now, but the weapon I will be reviewing this week is none other than the M98B, or the M98 Baller as I like to call it. Now before I go any further, I just want to throw out there that I am not the best sniper in the world. In fact, I've never been all that great at sniping in Battlefield, but I have been playing the Recon class and using the bolt action rifles a lot more since I got my new Steel Series mouse, and I've progressed quite a bit, so when Crazy True Raver suggested the M98B, I figured, why the heck not? Love the name, by the way, man. So just as a disclaimer, please take my review and what I say with a grain of salt, as I'm definitely not the best sniper out there. That being said, I'm gonna focus a lot on the stats for the M98B and give you a general idea of how I found the weapon handled. Because if there's one thing I firmly believe in when it comes to sniper rifles, is there is no single best sniper rifle in the game. Any one of them can be used effectively given the right situation. So sit back, relax, and let's talk sniper rifles. I'm sorry, just one more thing before I bring up the stats here. I'm just going to go over them as I normally would, but when it comes to sniper rifles and their damage models, I think a little bit of extra info is required to sort of make sense of it all. So I'm just going to read off the stats first, and then I'll explain what I mean in just a second. Alright, so the M98B does its maximum damage of 100 inside 12.5 meters before damage begins to drop off, ending at 150 meters, where it will do its minimum damage of 59. The M98B has a magazine size of 10 plus 1 in the chamber for 11 total, and its reload times are 4.8 seconds when empty and 3 seconds, with a round still in the chamber. The M98B is capable of firing up to 36 rounds per minute, and its bullet velocity is a very sexy 650 meters per second. So just to clarify the damage model a little bit, damage multipliers are a huge factor for snipers. They are what allow you to get a one-shot kill from almost any distance, so long as you get the headshot. How it works is, those values on the stat chart reflect shots to the chest and arms. They carry a 1.0 times damage multiplier, which essentially means it's not multiplied at all. Headshots, on the other hand, carry a 2 times multiplier. This is how a headshot gets you the kill no matter how far you are away from your enemy. The M98B's minimum damage is 59, so that means even at 1,000 meters, it will still do at least 59 damage. Now, if you get a headshot, that 59 is multiplied by 2, which, of course, is well over 100. Therefore, any headshot, no matter what the distance, will get you the one-shot kill with the M98B, which is what you're looking for in a long-range rifle. The funny thing is, you'd think any sniper would be a one-shot headshot kill from any distance, but it's not actually the case. I'm not sure if there is more than one rifle like this, but I know that the FYJS, at least, is not a one-shot kill to the head after a certain distance, which is kind of mind-boggling to me. If you get shot in the head, you're not going to survive. But, you know, I digress. Video game logic, I suppose. Now, at the beginning of the video, I mentioned that I firmly believe that there is no one single best sniper rifle in Battlefield, and nor should you. Every rifle has its advantages and disadvantages, and choosing your sniper heavily depends on what sort of playstyle you want to employ. And believe me, there is a rifle for everybody, from the aggressive recon right down to the dude who spends the entire game proned out near spawn. So where does the M98B fit? Well, this rifle is definitely best suited for long range, mostly due to its high bullet velocity of 650 meters per second. This is one of the highest in the class, and it even beats out everybody's favorite, the S01. So what it boils down to is it has very small bullet drop, or a very minimal bullet drop, allowing you to nail those headshots that much easier from far, far away. Minimal bullet drop means you don't have to compensate your aim too much when you're firing at targets far downrange, and very rarely, in fact I'd almost say it's closer to never, do you have to change your scope's zeroing distance. Now, if you're proned out on the mountains in the back of Operation Firestorm using a 40x scope to, snipe at dudes in the enemy's team spawn, maybe. But if you're moving around the map, there should never really be a real need to change your scope zeroing distance, as the M98 baller here is super accurate and effective from very, very long distances. Also lending to the idea that the M98B is sort of better suited for staying back and engaging targets at long range is the lower rate of fire at 36 rounds per minute. It does take a few seconds to rechamber another round with the M98B, and as a result, it's definitely not going to do the aggressive recon many favors. The reload times are also kind of high, so that just adds more fuel to the fire when it comes down to using this weapon in medium and close range. Bottom line is, there are many other for the more aggressive recon player, and the M98B is definitely closer to the bottom of that list. As far as attachments go, I know Crazy True Raver asked that I use the ACOG optic on the M98B, but I'll be honest with you guys, I tried it a few games and I didn't do that well at all. Using the ACOG makes getting those headshots just a little bit more difficult, and if you're not getting the headshots, chances are you're not going to be getting that many kills either. Headshots really are the goal at all times, and if I have any advice for beginner snipers out there, it would be to always try to go for the head. Not only will you get more kills this way, but you'll also build more skill, having to be so precise in your aiming all the time. It's a really good thing to keep in your mind at all times, and just a really good habit to get into in general if you want to have success at playing the recon class. But back to the attachments I like to use on this guy. I love the 7x scope. I don't know what it is exactly, but I think it has to do with the reticle. I just love that little triangle reticle the 7x scope has, and I'm always thinking to myself, just give him a little hat when I'm going for a headshot, because it kind of looks like a little hat, you know? Give your enemy a little hat just before you take his head off. Smiley face. But yeah, I love the 7x scope, but I have no problem using the 8x scope either. I don't think I've unlocked the 6x yet, but I really don't see it being the best choice for the M98B, given that it has the least amount of magnification, and you really want to use this rifle at long range. So I say go for the 7 or the 8x scope. I did try out a suppressor for a few games, but the increased bullet drop just messed me up, and I found it hurt the best thing about the M98B, which is its extremely low bullet drop. So on the barrel, I usually go with the flash hider, because it does sort of keep you a little more hidden from enemies, and it's not a detriment at all to any of the stats. For your accessory, I'd say go with the rangefinder, just in case you need some help adjusting your aim for extremely long range shots. Or if you'd rather have something that will help you in close quarters a bit, you can throw a laser sight on there, and try to no-scope people in close. Just bear in mind, if you don't turn it off, it can give away your position. Personally, I'd rather move around the map more than use a bipod as well, but if proning out near spawn all game is your jive, you might want to consider a bipod as an attachment as well. Overall, I quite enjoyed using the M98B. For someone like me who would rather stay back and go for those long-range shots when playing a sniper, it's the perfect fit. The M98B's low bullet drop is its main selling point, and it makes getting those headshots at range so much easier. So what does the scale of badassery have to say about this weapon? Well, I'm going to give the M98B a hefty 7.5 out of a possible 10 Zac Browns, because I listened to a lot of country music this summer, and I gotta say, Zac Brown is about as badass as country music gets. So I like my chicken fried, cold beer on a Friday night, and straight M98 ballin' on Battlefield 4. But that's gonna do it for me once again here on Guns with Griz. Here are a few just extra snipes that I had laying around, left over I guess. I hope you guys enjoyed my first ever sniper rifle review. Let me know how I did. If you enjoyed the review and you'd like to show the video a little love, you can also always do so by clicking that like button down below. Don't forget to leave me your comments for suggestions for next week's weapon down in the comments below. I'm looking for some new ones to do, some maybe less commonly reviewed weapons, if you will. So try to think of a less commonly used weapon that you'd like to see, guys. Challenge me here. As always, if you're new to the channel, I would absolutely love it if you hit that subscribe button and became my buddy friend. My name is Grizno. It's been a slice, but I gotta go now. See you all real soon. Peace.